Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Talk podcast. Here with us today, we have Mr. Gershon Lopes. I met Gershon Lopes into a brief encounter. We had a brief encounter, and we just jumped from topics to different topics, and it seemed interesting enough that I actually asked him if he would like to come on this podcast so that it's not only that he's sharing this information with me, but also to you all as well. You know, sometimes we know so much knowledge and it doesn't get shared. So I really appreciate you for coming here on this podcast with me, with us, I should say. Yes.
Well,
so I would like you to introduce yourself.
Okay, well, you just mentioned my name is Gershon Lopes. I always say Lopes. Some people like, it's always Lopes. I say, yes, but if it's a stranger, I'll say Lopes, so they'll understand, they'll be able to write it easier. Yeah. I was born and raised here in Statia and left at a young age to go away to school, in those days. Secondary education was not possible on the island, so I left and I went to Aruba.
How old were you?
12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Really young.
Wow.
Really
Not
young.
even a teenager.
Well, you see, this is how it was in those days. And I don't know if it brought some positive or negative things to the children that came after. But, it was a venture for us to go out there into another man's country. And then you don't have no parents, nobody to guide you. But it opens your eyes to a lot of things.
Okay.
What would you say is because what's the biggest difference between then and now? Growing up in Statia, what do you think is the biggest difference right now?
Then, in those days, a village brought up a child. So the whole thing was that even though your parents don't talk to that person, you don't dare pass without saying good morning.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
That was also in my time.
You see, so this is how it was in those days. And then Aruba was just something else. And you had youngsters that went to Curacao, but I went to Aruba. And after finishing Marvel, I came back, worked with my mom. My mom was running Antillean View bar hotel.
Antillean View. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Antillean View was a hotel that was made by, I think, a station man. Actually, to have sufficient rooms for, I think it was 1976.
Wow.
For 1976, that's when they started the bicentennial for the first salute. But we can go into that another time. You understand?
Okay, so you got more to go.
Yes, so he built the Antillean View, and after when business was going bad, he left, went to Curacao, and my mom and dad was running it. And that's just when I came back to Statia. And I came back to Statia then, and what I did is, I took it over, opened a discotheque there. Opened a discotheque because the action was always downtown. And it was choked. And the action is the same place there where we area was 318. That was the action by Mr. Spanner. So I trying to get a band, and I asked one of the guys from the band, how much you charge to play? He said, yeah, but we always playing by Spanner. I said, but I want you to play by us once in a while. So I think I had to put a 25 gilder, because in those days, I put a 25 guilders on top of what he was getting, either 25 or 50, and they played for me that weekend. And from there, it was action.
25 gillo.
No, well, in those days...
No, I'm just comparing it.
Yes. They were charging like... if I'm not mistaken, 125 guilders for the night, and I make it 150 for them to play with me. So,
competition.
One thing I watch, and I wanted to always ask you, they always say the thing where blue beads, you don't find them, they don't find you.
They find you.
I see a lot of them find you. How they come about, the blue beads?
Well, these blue beads actually, and talk about blue bead, on Friday I have to give a little presentation to youngsters from a school about it, you know.
Okay.
Now, blue beads. Do we all know the story about the blue bead? What they were used for?
I know trade.
Yes. So they call them slave beads, but they are trade beads. They were made in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
A sand from, I think Niger is one of the countries where they got the sand, and then made in Amsterdam, and it was used then as money to buy and sell whatever.
Yeah.
If you know a little bit about the history of Statia, then you know then the Dutch, British, French, they use this to buy, and also slave. Slaves was part of the trade in those days. They were doing all the work, and that's why so many ships could load and offload here in Statia, you know, because of the trade. But running from that, the beads, I worked for Statia for 10 years. I was then the assistant manager. At those days, it was only manager and assistant manager. Now it's director managers, you know?
Okay.
So what I found out that at 55 feet, somewhere in the water there, they call it the blue bead hole. You can go.
I heard about that, yeah.
You can go and find beads. So I went to the dive shops a few times. Every time I go, I find a bead.
Wow.
So then I started, because Statia, we were getting thanks from the dive shop. Glenn Fair's bead, he always had it out about taking the free thanks and going to get blue beads, and then there's no more for us. So I will go out, even if it's on a tugboat, jump off, direct myself to the blue bead hole, check, and then swim from there all the way into shore. There, come in there where the water plant is.
Okay.
So, and then I'll find beads. These are only a few of the beads that I found there.
Oh, few.
I had another chain, can't find it right now.
Oh, wow.
You know, but I dove most of these beads up out there.
Yeah.
But we can come back on another day and talk about how they end up out there.
So I know
That's an interesting
we have
story.
a part two for sure.
No, we don't have part 3.
Yes. You mentioned that, for example, you guys had to leave the island from 12. What was that experience like, leaving the island so young?
In a way, it was a kind of scary, you know, in the sense that you're away from your parents, you don't know who and where you're going to end up. Like me, I got dropped right in the village, Sabre Street, you know, the baddest period.
Oh, wow.
So I got dropped there. Nice people, I stayed by beautiful, nice people. Food, everything always good. In those days, the people will get money, but you as a student didn't get any money. So you depended on the money from your parents in those days. You know, so it was just different.
That is a difference, because now you get the money on your account. Not that the person
But
taking care of.
we weren't getting any money, only the people that took care of you. So that was the situation in those days. And Sabre Street, St. Nicholas, we call Chocolate City. You have a mixture of people from Guyana, all around the Caribbean, that came to work in Lago and living around there close to where they can work. So you have a mengelmoes, a mixture of cultures and people living there. But besides that, the youngsters, what they did is they will take catapult, shoot out all the lights. So it was always dark in the village. And me, I don't know what I brought with me, but every day I had a fight. Every day.
They were picking on a new one?
Huh?
Picking on a new one?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but
how you manage?
We survived. We survived, you know. I went to John Wesley, and that's a school I think a lot of the locals went to. And John Wesley was a very good school for the Statia kids.
Yeah.
They were always there pushing
I
you.
heard that school mentioned before.
Yes,
yeah.
John Wesley College. I think a good bit of people from Statia went to John Wesley.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So after John Wesley, I came back. Like I said, started working with my mom, opened a disco, and then move on to Holland.
Okay.
You know, after
Yeah.
years, just move on and continue.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do
Exactly.
for yourself, you know?
Exactly. I want to rewind it back a little bit more.
Okay.
Growing up before 12, like when you're growing up in Statia, you know, a lot of people have different experiences where they go to school or they say they had to help take care of the animals, they had to help with this, help with that. What was your typical day growing up when you was younger?
My typical day was, because my mom, she was an entrepreneur. We had pigs, goats, sheep, chickens, you name it, we had that.
Yeah.
So I get up in the morning, I have to go carry the goat and the sheep.
Yeah.
The afternoon.
And that's before you have to go school?
Before you go school.
Oh.
You come, you carry, and you tie them out. And of my days, I have to tie it, and I leave one or two small ones, you know, so they could milk by the mother and so forth. But you are actually carrying them out. When you come home from school, you carry water for them, and you lose them and let them come for water, and you carry them back up again.
Yeah.
So I was a bit lazy, so I carry the water. I carry the water to them, you know? And so you need to feed the chickens, and in the afternoon, when you come from school, that you have to pick them up, you feed the pigs.
Yeah.
So that was a regular thing. Besides that, I grew up in the East. You couldn't venture too far unless your mom sent you to carry bread. My mom should bake bread, bake her own bread, her own cakes. My mom, for instance, she had the first mobile snack on the island.
Oh, wow. Oh.
That's history there.
First mobile. Every time there's carnival, she's inside there with her vehicle. Formerly always parked in front of Charlie, where the stage is. That's the place that she always was, and sell her sauce, conch dumpling, you name it.
So where was Carnival, where they used to hold Carnival then?
Carnival was kept in different places. It was kept in the Catholic school, the Golden Rock School. It was kept a lot of times by the community center. It was kept going to the Graff School. So it just moved around from, and it was fun too, you know?
Yeah.
It was fun. We didn't have a place, let's say like the Carnival Village now.
Yeah.
But they will build a stage and they will, set up a place with the queens and so forth, and say it with the calypsos, you know.
Yeah.
And in those days, some of the time, the stages weren't strong enough to the fall when everybody get on top. Yes.
That's nice memories compared to now, because all I know is, everything is at the Carnival Village.
Yes.
Yeah.
But look, it doesn't matter if it's by the Carnival Village. It's not where it's kept, it's the ambiance and the togetherness about it that makes it nice, you know. And this is about growing up too. Growing up in Statia, there was a togetherness, you know. Groups will play, because that's all we could do. Make our own toys and play cowboy and Indian and whatnot. You understand?
Cowboy
and
and Indian.
Have your real arrow and bow and your real gun, shooting stone. You know?
Exactly.
So you make them yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how it was in those days.
But what you think, because you said your mother was the first one to have a mobile shop here. What are some other people on the island that had like things like the person people go for bread, the person people go for this?
Look, my grandfather, for instance, he delivered milk to all the schools. And I will go in the morning
And what was
that
the
was
name?
That was his name?
What was his name? Yeah.
Alston Suarez.
Okay.
He's the father of Wanda, Dennis, Ashton, Cassie, the Suarez. Cassie and them father, you know.
Yeah.
And he delivered milk to all the schools on Statia at that time, which was actually primary schools alone.
Yeah.
You know. You had the Burkos, Mr. Olanda and his wife, Humbat, them, his mother, and they delivered bread. They made bread for the schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we were in school, we'll get milk and bread
Yeah.
and a fruit. But the bread came from Mrs. Burko.
So you,
and
all right now the schools and the primary school has healthy eating, sharing out for the primary schools. So you can say from way back then you all actually had it.
Look, this whole idea that came up about now is something that was going on before.
Exactly, yeah.
But the thing is, and so is life. We're looking for something new while it happened before and we're not using it. So we
Yeah.
need to use what we know.
Exactly.
So know where we come from to know where we're going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
When this is how it is.
Exactly. And I see you mentioned that, like back then, you was very disciplined in carrying the goats and making sure to get water and stuff like that.
Well,
Now it's slightly different.
Well, I tell you that I was always disciplined is another story.
At least you be honest. At least you be honest.
No, but it is what it is, you know. Sometimes, like for instance, I find I had too much work to do because my mom, like I said, she was an entrepreneur. She
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
and I think that is what sometimes take people down when they can't do those things anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she cooked, she baked. I had to go deliver bread to certain people
Yeah.
who will take bread from her, and I will go put the bread or the cakes on the wall, go play ball, somebody thief them. So these are the things that, you know, happen growing up.
Yeah.
Because you're so busy, the guy's playing ball or they're riding bike. Or
May want to
whatever.
have fun too.
You want to
Yeah.
have some fun. So what you do is, hey, you just join in the party. You know?
Exactly.
Yes. But again, like I said, growing up, it was a community that
Yeah.
bring up a child.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find that it was too fast minding or your business, but they're looking out for you.
Yeah.
You know? And that's something that is missing now because you can't tell nobody's child anything.
No.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's not nice.
Yeah.
I went through all the islands, Curacao and Aruba. I noticed that the youngsters, when they're talking to people, they will say Meneer or Tio.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So we need to respect.
Yeah.
And that's what lacking a lot with some young people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all.
Yeah.
You know? And respecting older people. So these are things that I see a lot change.
Yeah.
Where you think that change actually come from? If you could have pinpointed, where you think that change come from?
That change could have come from the parents from these now went away and come back and want to spoil the children because actually a lot of children are just being spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, they actually the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do what they want.
Yeah.
And it could be because of the amount of laws that are being put in place for these islands.
Yeah.
Because these islands, look, laws are being made for Statia, laws are being made for all the islands. Now we're in the best. Every minute somebody making a law.
Yes.
But nobody researches the law. They don't deal with the people here to really find out about the law and why we need to make the law. Can we just change things? Can we make sure that it is safe?
Yeah.
I'll give an example of that. Since 2004, they closed down the place of the ladies of the night. Not everybody might say that you should have that place. Religious, they might say no. But keep Statia safe.
Yeah.
Keep Statia protected. You have to know what it is you want to do. In a small community, you could call it a small village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of foreigners coming in,
Yeah.
which is good. They come in to do work because as a laborer, they don't have enough laborers. So you need to make sure that these people have a place to go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Else they can end up preying on our youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will see on the girls, but girls are boys.
Yeah.
You know, in a sense, so we have to protect them. What it is we really want to do for our country. And these are the things we need to check before we make a law to say this is a law.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I ain't cutting you off if you have anything else to add, but I understand and agree with what you say. Yeah, sometimes it's like I can understand the point from why these laws are in place.
yes,
Because of things that happened in the past. For example, a lot of unknowing, how you say? People were not aware that they are being abused.
Okay.
They thought that this is the right way to go or such and such. But I can understand why those laws came into place to protect the children. I'm glad that you mentioned safe. But you also mentioned a other side to look at too. You know,
Yes.
it's like we put all of these in place, but you also have to look
Look,
from that standpoint.
I met a lady a few days ago, and why I mentioned law, she tell me she's busy with a law where if you see something is wrong going on with a child from the school, the board or whatever can deal with it if the parents did not give consent. You know, so these are laws that need to be there.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we need to make sure the place is safe.
Yes.
So deal with what you need to deal with to make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then the law is there in case anything happens. But we don't want nothing to happen. We want the place to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Well, it says Statia is safe. A safe place.
It is, Statia is one of the safest places, I think, in the world. Statia is one of the safest places. People who come here from wherever they come, make Statia the home, and they tell you this is home.
Yeah.
And when they just went home on vacation, but they come back,
They miss-
they come home now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not going to leave Statia. And those are real Statia people.
Yeah, yeah.
Statia people ain't just are born here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Statia is where in your heart.
Exactly.
I love how you said that.
100%.
Yes,
Beautiful.
it's in your heart. You believe in it. This is your country. This is your people.
Yeah.
And this is why it's important that we live together in unity.
Yeah.
You understand? And we are, for instance, now in the best islander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Holland and Statia need to work like husband and wife.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to agree to disagree,
Yeah.
because that way you'll be happy with your wife too,
Yeah.
because you agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But we need to work in one line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to work in one line. Statia is your home, right?
Yes, for
Statia
sure.
is my home.
Yeah.
And I want to see Statia moving forward.
Yeah.
And if Statia, you have Statia in your heart, you want to see Statia move forward.
Yeah.
Then all of us together need to work in unity to make it go forward,
Exactly.
or else.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned unity because you mentioned previously, like in schools, you had like fresh milk, delivered and
yes.
bread. So to me, that was a kind of a unity there already. But you said Statia produced their own milk. But what is happening now? Why do you think that stopped?
It stopped due to a lot of things. It stopped due to work. And it happened in most of the islands, Curacao, Aruba. A lot of folks left Statia to go away to work in Lago and in Shell. Those were the real farmers. Some stayed back. And over the years, we started getting less rain.
Yeah.
Because we could plant our yam, sweet potatoes, whatever, and you get in production.
Yeah.
And when I was in Aruba, I can remember, Statia potato!
Yeah.
Everybody rushing coming.
Yeah.
And that was when I was a teenager. But due to the weather and roaming animals, it's not possible. It needs to be managed in the right way. It needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. Maybe I jump in. We, as people, need to start thinking because we need to start producing our own food.
Exactly. I agree.
So in your backyard, you could have some chickens there where you're getting your eggs, you're throwing your restaurant, you feed things where you want, open the fridge, you give it to them, you get your eggs, you eat your chicken,
Yeah.
and we need to set up a little garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do it easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be big. You need to feed yourself.
Yeah.
So what can you tell someone who want to start going that direction? Small.
Well, years ago, together with Diverman, that was my partner at that time, we started backyard gardening. It's something, it's a project actually one need to be put in place. Stimulating people and showing them how they can set up on a small area of land, a garden. Like I said, have your chickens, but have your gardens, producing your own food, the food that you eat.
Exactly.
And this is what we need to do. I wasn't here for the Christmas, but I heard that the boats were not going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
So today I went in a supermarket to buy some fruit for my mom, and I said, okay, well, boy, suppose the boat don't come. What happened? Because today is Tuesday, right?
Yes.
And already the place empty.
Exactly.
What happened if 3 weeks the boat don't reach Statia?
Yeah.
What about a month, 2 months, 3 months?
Or
Don't
crisis
think it
happens.
because it didn't happen, it can't happen.
Exactly.
But what about that? We need to have our food.
Yeah.
And all our food, our fruit, vegetables, meat, everything must be there for us to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But the problem is that it went out of hand somewhere along the line where people stopped taking care of the animals because it was cheaper to just let them go shoot him, take one when you need some extra money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the days before, you will go, water them, bring them, put them in a pen, and that's how it was done before.
Yeah.
So we need, if we can't do that, then we can't keep our animals. We need to just go and buy meat from outside. And then it's not how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
How you know Statia? Statia goat. You know what they call me in Aruba? Statia goat. Statia goat. Why? Because Statia was known always for producing the best and the sweetest meat.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was from the kosher tree or shabush or whatever they eat, but the
Yeah.
meat it was flavored.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it still is flavored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is something, this is a stamp for Statia that you must know, hey, these are the things we need to protect and do them right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we can't just have them running, doing damage all over the place.
Exactly.
And we're not working as a team to make nothing happen.
Exactly.
If we don't do that, then define the fact.
So I like that you mentioned unity, but before I jump to that, I wanted to know, you said that before it used to rain more. So you think because of that had an effect on why, or you still think, no, more can be still done even though it rains less?
Listen, a lot more can be done because, look, we need to modernize.
Yeah.
Huh? In those days, we didn't have solar panels and all those things. We have them now. We can have light, we can have video in your place. You understand?
Exactly.
So it's a different time, so we need to modernize. And to modernize, we could have a nice drip irrigation system set up in your backyard, fenced in.
For those who don't know what you just mentioned, what is
Well,
it?
drip irrigation is running black lines with holes where you can connect it to your water system, put a time on it, know when it's supposed to come on, and it will come on and drip that water by the plants to supply the plant. And you can also give vitamins to the water
Okay.
to the plant. So you could have while you're working, you make it, let's say, if it's a project, while you're working or while you're sleeping, you're making money.
Yeah.
You understand? So you produce your own food, you produce, and what's important, you produce healthy food.
Exactly.
With no set of garbage, because to tell you the truth, what we get here in Statia through the supermarkets is garbage, it's leftover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compare, because sometimes I take an orange, I say, oh, boy, this is something else. It's dry, no taste.
Yeah.
You know, so the fruit we get here is because it went to somewhere first, now they get new ones, they send it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need to be able to have our own fresh fruit.
Exactly.
We need to plant fruit trees in our yard, fruit trees that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a lot of people, for example, you talk about you want a lot of people to plant, but then a lot of people has complained to that they go and plant, and then the next day they wake up all the plans gone because some animal came in and do this and do that, and
Well,
it
like
kind of demotivate them to even continue.
well, that is one of the problems I think that demotivated a lot of people throughout the years.
Yeah,
Because, like I say, it was easier for people to leave the animals just roam
yeah,
and go and shoot them in the one, but not paying for the damage that happened to somebody.
Yeah.
I worked on a roaming animal project
yeah,
for quite some time, and it's something that is needed and was needed to a certain extent. That's my opinion. We need to take the animals off the road for safety for people's lives. They shouldn't be coming in your yard. If it does damage, you should be paid with those animals.
yeah,
So we have camera, we can film the animals and go and get them. So that is how it should have been.
yeah,
But after we start to take the animals, kill the animals in the hill, in those places, that won't
Yeah.
make sense. But they're still coming in the people's yard.
Exactly.
This is important. So you have to
Is
fence.
that killing still going on or no?
I don't know. That's when I worked there. I'm
Okay.
now a pensioner.
Okay.
I'm now a pensioner. But if they come in my yard, I will have to call and see. Like right now, I have cows coming in my yard.
And that's if
eating.
they catch them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they catch them. So you have to try and get a picture. I have a camera so you can see
yeah,
and show that this is the animal that did the damage, because they do a lot of damage. Huh?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
And people don't understand that. So
Yeah.
this is one of the things that have to be taken care of animals roaming on the road. And
Yeah.
it's so easy.
But why? You say it's so easy, but why?
It's so easy to take
have
care
it?
of the problem if you fence the animals out to where you want them, and you put cattle grids where they can't cross over. You see, going into the condos, there was grids there where you have to drive over, and animals won't go in because they get trapped in between.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we can fence some places at the island, keep the animals out, and in specific areas put this cattle grid. And okay, I start by controlling that.
Yeah.
So now,
Cattle grid.
so where the houses are, now animals don't go.
Yeah.
So you deal with them out there where they are, and you regulate that.
Yeah.
So this is the number one point that should be done
Yeah.
to stop the animal problem in the urban area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because to me, yeah, it's something that
Good.
very much needed. I had my own encounter with it. Cow came in the yard, shrunk my scooter, scrape it up.
Who gonna pay for it now?
Even if you get the cow and think it's still in enough in order to.
That's it.
So those types of, I'm hoping that, something like that eventually.
But
yeah,
at first, you didn't think it was a cow.
No, at first you didn't know, but
Well,
as you think and then you look and then you see and then you had a picture of the cow too, and then you notice that, hey, a cow come in, throw around the bike, you go, you might not even get enough meat in order to get back the money in order
That's
to
it.
think.
That's
so,
it. So it does a lot of damage, and actually it needs to be. And here where teamwork again come in.
Yeah.
We as a people know that these are the changes that need to happen. Sometimes we don't like changes, but these are the changes that need to happen.
yeah.
Look, if you don't have land, don't keep no animal.
Exactly.
So you'll keep a few chickens in the back because that's on your land, and
Yeah.
you can take care of that. You supply, they supply you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, you connect it to stucco. You use that water to wash in, rinse in, do whatever you need.
Yeah.
You have a cistern. You take that water, fresh, good water, and you use for your plants on your drip irrigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? And produce what you need.
Exactly.
So we need to balance off.
Yeah.
If you run out of water, you're gonna ask stucco to treat in your cistern.
Yeah.
But then connect to stucco and use your cistern to produce your food.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one of the things we need. Look, everything is so expensive now in Statia.
Yeah. Very.
And to save money, this is what we need to do.
And to be healthy.
and to be healthy. This is what it's all about, eating healthy.
Yeah.
Because you can have enough money, but if you don't have health, you don't have long life.
Exactly.
You know, so this is going towards that area.
Yeah, I have a question in regards to the farming. A lot of persons who are farmers, they typically, most of the time, there's older folks. And then there's a big gap between the older folks and then there's the younger folks, and they might see, like, this ain't so interesting to me, so I ain't gonna go to do it, but it's something very important. How can you get some young farmers to decide to want to actually take up the task of becoming a farmer?
Look, let's put it like this. Most politicians that campaigning say that agriculture is number one for them, right?
Yep.
All of them saying agriculture, but it's only with mouth. Because agriculture is number one for you. You're going to make it right. You're going to do what you need to do because the power is in your hand to make sure that we have our own food.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, if you're not doing that, then
That's our living stock.
yes, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
They need to say, we're going to do that and we're going to do that. So, you start producing, stimulating agriculture to the sense that we have our own food.
That should be number one.
Look.
Because, that's, a part of life, you have to have food. So I think that's really an important factor.
Look, a good thing the government started a few years ago was made in Statia.
Yeah.
Gone dead.
Yep.
Why?
It's about,
Why?
a lot of reasons. I would say that you can, it might be a little bit rough, but you can give a 10 builder a job to build a house. That's what I would say.
And do you think, in general, farming is a profitable type of business?
That's where
You
I
think
was
somebody
going
can
to.
actually make it a business, or it's something that you forever might have to get some type of subsidize in order to make it?
At the present moment, we need to get subsidy, just like Holland gets subsidy, because we are due to it.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying politicians, central, local, if this is what you want, you're going to make sure that the people could eat healthy and feed themselves.
Yeah.
But if you do not do these things, it's not possible.
Yeah.
The size, the numbers here on Statia is the things that count. And we know that, and we should know that.
Yeah.
But again, we talk about laws. We put laws in place to control how much people come into the island, while we actually need about 5 to 8,000 more people on Statia to make business profitable
Exactly.
for
Agreed.
everybody.
Yes.
Exactly.
Totally agree.
So it's the numbers that we need here.
Yeah.
And with the numbers, as the businesses, everybody, business is thriving.
Yeah.
But it's difficult now where you have, for instance, let's take something, a restaurant.
Yeah.
So much restaurant permits, licenses out there, but they're not making it because everybody taking from everybody. 'Cause
Exactly.
Everybody start. So government themselves need to decide so much permits from that, so much permits from this. And actually what they need to do is, look, this is what needed on the island. You come to the government and they can regulate for you to do this kind of business because it needed.
Exactly. Exactly.
Don't wait for things to happen.
Yeah.
Look, things change over the years. Went away for school, you got a burst. And with that burst, you can come, work for 3 years and pay it back, or you pay back a little something.
Yeah.
Now, the children still think it's a burst, but it's a loan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And before you reach Statia here, if you come back, you don't owe house and land, and you're paying for the rest of the leg.
That's for sure.
Do not make that mistake that you don't let this direction you're going to change here,
Yeah.
but you're in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, for sure.
And let me tell you something. These people coming for the money, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, they coming for the money.
Yeah.
Just like the tax man coming for the money, they coming for the money.
Yeah.
I don't care where you go, they want the money.
Exactly.
You understand? So
Did I find you?
we need to, but we need to educate our young people to know that when you get money, teach them how to manage the money well, because they feel a lot of money coming there, but they don't know that they put in themselves in heavy expense.
Yes.
Exactly.
And this is why a lot of youngsters now want to go to night school, work in the day,
Yeah.
and because I don't know what a organization that take the youngsters to Holland, but they
I think that changed
They
like
got
maybe
next
3
one.
times.
yeah,
or
but
so.
but listen, they put in youngsters in
Yeah.
serious problems, and these are things that, again, these are things that our leaders need to look into. They need to look into things of our youth, the middle age, and the pensioners.
Yeah.
We pay as pensioners, we're over the Dutch, you still pay tax. But you pay tax, they pay tax for you coming up, you pay tax. You pay tax all your life, and now they still want to pay tax.
Everybody hit a tax man.
Yeah, but I mean, taxes is something needed, but to me, it's too much tax.
Yeah.
Tax for everything.
Yeah.
Tax for everything.
Yeah.
What do you think, because we mentioned about government and so forth, but what do you think as a community we have to do together?
We need, look, as a community, again, we need to love the island, and whatever business we're doing, we need to do it together. When I say that together, everybody, there's some people want to do everything and don't do it good.
Yeah.
But come together, this one doing that, this other person, and make a team where it's a solid foundation and you're going from there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we need to work together. We all need each other. We're not in it by ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to understand that. And that's where the unity come in.
Exactly.
We as a people need to sit together and ask ourselves, what do we need to do to carry this island forward? Because that's what we want. This is your home.
Yeah.
Some people might say, I don't want too much people. But listen, people will help build the place. Check the United States.
Yeah.
Huh? Check the United States. These are people that came from Europe and different places and went in and decided and changed the place.
Yeah.
So you need people for development.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Going back to farming, I know that there's I understood that there were different incentives to support the farmers, but I see like there are different farmers. Do you think like it's a wise idea for them to come together, or
When you
delegate
say
it differently?
the different farmers, personally, I don't find that there is much farmers here.
Why? Why aren't they?
A farmer is a person that works full time
Oh.
into that job. That's
I'm
a
glad you
farmer.
mentioned that.
So who you know working full time in that job?
No one.
I can't tell you.
Yes.
I can't tell you.
Mr. Hazel lives from that.
Yes,
He brings
that's
in
he,
stuff
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
He is a farmer.
Yeah.
Mrs.
That's true.
Brooks, she makes
Yes.
all sort of oils. Talented lady.
But then you're talking about older persons.
Yes,
Yeah.
but these are people that been into it for a while. To get the young people into it, you need to come with a plan and bring agriculture into the school.
Yeah.
The same Antillean View Hotel, after it was sold to government, the GVP school started right there. The
Okay.
GVP, I gave agriculture science at the schools. They're all like Makiba and they
Yeah.
were in my class.
Yeah.
And Jacques van der Harde was then the director. And he brought agriculture into it. And that's one of the reasons that I left and go to Holland to go agriculture teacher,
Yeah.
but end up in driver's license business and then go ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
But that was the time, that was the start, and it was deterred. having agriculture in the schools, teaching the youngsters how to plant, how to turn the soil, how to see things grow, the same things that you take care of and eat it. And this was done. In those days too, going to the grass school had their school garden, and they will, when I reach, they're ready to go water, turn the soil, put plants, and that was the direction, a good direction was going.
I think it's a good direction, yeah.
But this is, again, our leaders need to see that this is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And if you say this is what you want, then you need to do it.
Yeah.
Make sure that this is happening in the schools so the youngsters can teach their parents.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, there aren't much person who doing it full time.
Okay,
So,
look, there's a difference between talking about farmers and feeding yourself.
Yeah.
Because everybody is able to feed themselves.
Yeah.
So while you're sleeping, you're out there you're growing food because they're getting water, they get sun, and it taking care of itself. Long time we couldn't do that. We couldn't water with plants. Now we can do that.
Yeah.
On a smaller area, you can grow much more food. You don't need, you grow it in the air.
Yeah.
You grow it on lines. So
Yeah.
a small area, this room that we have here, you can grow food for you and 3 neighbors right here.
Yeah.
that's a
So,
nice way. Yeah.
so we need to do it, and we need to teach our youngsters how to do it.
Exactly.
Take your manure, have your animal, go by the guy that have animal, take the manure, prepare your buckets or whatever, however you're going to plant, or your soil, and set up your irrigation system
Yep.
and water your plants. We can do it, we need to do it. But if we don't teach the youngsters, then it's going to be cut off.
I
If you
guess-
didn't learn from your parent about making cake and all that, you wouldn't know in the recipes that they have. You wouldn't know. So we need to teach our youngsters a lot of things that they lack from back those days.
Yeah.
All of how you need to take care of yourself
I agree.
and be
100%.
independent.
100%.
Because listen, I left here when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
If they leave here 17, 18, they're coming back next week. But it's a fact.
Yeah,
they're coming back because I can't handle it.
Yeah.
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 And we sometimes think that Statia is the world. No. We're just a little dot.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you go there, you need to be able to carry yourself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And these are some of the things that we need to drill in some of the young people.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that there should be more incentives to include it in the primary schools. Yeah.
Coming up.
Yes.
I have I want to reference an article. I think it was 2017. An article, it said, "I told you so." I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
2017?
Yeah, it was about water systems. And I think it
Okay.
referenced also the fort behind the airport.
Yes.
I don't really know the full story about
Okay,
it.
what happened is that the airport was built with a catchment for if the wind blows the other way, the water can go into this gut and leave
Yeah,
the airport surfaces.
yeah,
So that was a big gut, almost big like this room, this part of the room here. And when they resurfaced the airport, they changed that. And what they did, they put 2 pipes, probably 3, smaller than this chair. Now, the engineers that built before know how the weather goes, hurricanes, etc., how much water you get at a certain time.
Yeah.
But now they change, and the pipes were not even, how much say, leaning. Everybody want everything level. So they changed it, and I told them, somebody interviewed me about it. I said, listen, this area here, if government don't check out what's happening, airport is going to go into the sea.
Yeah.
And I saw it happening. So one day, I always drive in that area, and it rained at night. When I tell you it rained. And I went down there, and what did I see? An area bigger than your house, gone deep 5 times your house. All that soil gone into the sea.
Wow.
And now everybody wondering what could be. I mean, what it could be. The water overflow and wash all the sand into the sea.
Yeah.
But like I said, I told you so because I mentioned it in an interview that this can happen and these are the things that need to be checked into.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked that time at the agriculture department. Probably everybody was a bit upset that I said that, but sometimes you say things, people don't take it. They don't take it serious. People underestimate everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody watch you and figure, no, that's a person.
Yeah.
They don't know what you know because probably you don't be bragging about what you know.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But that there is a boo-boo. Somebody made a big boo-boo.
Yeah.
So when now it gets washed away, everybody with a hand in the hair, like, what really happened?
Yeah.
We need to make sure water can go into the ground,
Yeah.
not wash to the sea neither. We need
Into
to
the
make,
ground.
for a long time we had stone walls around the island.
Yeah.
You know what these stone walls were for? To keep the soil on the land and slowly the water go through the stones to the next stone wall and slowly after go into the land as much as possible. There were ponds, area set up like ponds. So that's how it was.
So that will also help with agriculture because of you say
make the land,
it rains less.
To make the land wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make the land wet and keep the land green.
Yeah.
But all the stones gone. A lot were taken with the road project that people went and take stones to pound stone and make money, make money to from the stones.
Yeah.
So all along, stone wall's gone. So if the stone wall's gone, what are we going to do? We need to make infiltration ponds because we have the wells. If you know a little bit about the history of Statia, the Dutch made wells because when they came to saw, it was not like St. Kitts where the volcano is a pond.
Yeah.
Volcano, when it rains a lot, it catches water and it seeps through the land.
Yeah.
But we don't have that.
No.
We should have some sort of crack in the bottom of the volcano so the water goes under the land. But we can pump it out. So instead of leaving the water go to the sea, we make infiltration ponds all around the base of the volcano, all come to the land. But we can also make some liner ponds. Now those hold in the water, you can make them like a balloon so you get less evaporation. But you can pump this water into an area that you can use for whatever you want.
Yeah.
And for the farmers?
Yes. One of the projects that made that possible was the solar park. The solar park in Statia covers a good area. Right now I don't know the amount, but Mr. Fred Cliverley, he gave a good presentation, and I gave a presentation after with him. I think it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
It could be 6, 7 years ago, about what's going to happen. And he's going to put guttering on the solar panels to catch the water. So then we say, okay, if you're going to do that, then the water can be used for agriculture.
Yeah.
Besides that, the panels were put high so that if you decide you want to keep animals there, it's high enough to do that too. So you could keep animals, a plant. Before they even had guttering, we start to plant spinach. Spinach grow good there.
Yeah.
So we said, farmers can get a piece of land, have water from the catch on the solar panels, run into a pond, and come to your garden, and you can have an area to produce your food.
Yeah.
So these are things that can be done. So Mr. Fred Kively said he's going to catch water, he's going to put up guttering and catch water. And I think with government it was discussed, and that he catch water from everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
He decided that because if he didn't, the erosion that water will cause around will be a lot more money.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. Right now I see the last phase has no guttering, which also have to be put in. And then we have much more water. We need a pond maybe 3-4 times bigger than what we had to catch this water.
Yeah.
But you can do it in a different way. Like I said, right now this is an open pond and a lot of water evaporate, but you can make it like a balloon.
Yeah.
We have it closed and the water go in. Right now, tilapia is in there to help keep the water clean of mosquitoes
Oh, okay. I
and
was
so
going
forth.
to ask.
Yes.
Okay.
But we can do a lot more things. One of the important things is to stop the water going to the sea,
Exactly.
killing coral reef,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and washing our topsoil away.
Yeah.
This is very important.
When I walk down Salandia to the back there where you mentioned, you do see a lot of erosion, a lot of, yeah.
Yes, yes. Again, we were talking about agriculture and erosion prevention. Right now, you see Glasgow.
Yeah.
That was erosion, caused by erosion. Right now, they're in hellhole, making all these gutters in the road to collect the water. Long time, there were gutters leading water in specific places. These are the changes that happen in the island.
So what you're saying is that they already have?
They had it before,
Okay.
but people just don't care anymore. And Glasgow was a big problem where it started to cut into the land and they had to set that up. Now they're preventing areas from getting washed away by leading water and catching water under the ground.
Okay.
All our roads underneath, if we set it up right, we can have water under there to use that you probably could pump out and use for your garden. So we need to work on these things.
Yeah.
Look, we need to work on getting Statia forward. Infrastructural projects like these things are good.
Yeah.
It is needed. But we need to get Statia moving. You all are the generation of now. You need to come together and decide where we want to go and how we want to move this island.
Yeah.
And check the pro and cons. A lot of time people criticize about everything, complain. Complain don't make things happen. We need to come together and put our heads together.
That's what we do. Not me. I don't do that.
So,
I don't like being around complainers, but I'm really glad that you mentioned that we complain and try to blame the other person,
Yes.
but...
And most people try to blame somebody for their mistakes.
Yeah.
But and if somebody did that to me, nobody knew nothing's really happened to you. You understand? So we need to move this island forward. And there are specific things that need to change. One of the things I mentioned before is the amount of people that need to change. We need more people.
How do we do that?
Good. So now, how are we going to get
How are we going to do
how are we
it?
going to get more people into the country? I hear medical school is coming just now, which is good. It shouldn't have been gone from the first place because a lot of money people took loans,
Exactly.
and people got jammed. Some people don't know, but people get in serious problems because they took loans, because there was money available for apartments.
Yeah.
And then the medical school gone.
Yeah.
So now you're in a tight squeeze, all your money for your job going to it.
Yeah.
So we need to have more people here. They're gone already, so we can't cry on spilled milk.
Yeah.
But if it's coming now, then we need to make sure that everything in place for it.
Exactly.
When we talk about school, a lot more different schools could be here. I can remember years ago my wife and Camellia them were fighting to get like a hotel school. They tried to get the place on the corner over there on Rosemary Lane, and they tried to get Golden Era. These are things that needed.
Yeah.
Our youngsters lack skills and support certain areas, and you can train them right here professionally.
Exactly.
So Statia can do with a lot of schools. Train our people. If you have a construction company, pay 2 persons. Pay 2 persons. If it's for a year or for 2 years, to go and learn. And that person have to teach them trade.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that you mentioned that.
Yes, teach our people. A good initiative that the government took is sending some youngsters off island.
Yeah.
That's good. But then you need to, when they come back now, make sure they have a job. And if you have companies here, you have companies fixing roads, making roads, companies building houses, get 1 or 2 youngsters in there.
Yeah.
Get him. This one come to do that, this one come to do that. And then from there, he moved to the next job, and this is what he coming for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you pay that.
Yeah.
Because they're home in Statia. We talk about birds. A lot of us went away. How much came back? All the money that you spent. How much come back? A lot want to come back. But if there's nothing for them to come to,
Exactly.
Yes.
what are they going to come to?
I think it's a really smart idea that you mentioned. Like, you know, sometimes person who might not get the chance to go away, or maybe circumstances happen that they pursue those studies, but once you as an employer, it's good that you open those doors to actually pay for them, like you say,
Yes.
go away, but you know for sure they're coming back and they have a
Yes.
guaranteed job.
Exactly.
So, look, organizations could get funds to do this because that's what happened for the youngsters to go away.
Yeah.
So, we can do it for them working here
Yeah.
also on the job.
Exactly.
Look, if we don't open avenues, then we only leave it for us. We only leave it for other people to come in and do
Exactly.
it.
Limited and dependent.
Yes. So we need to work. We need to work to build ourselves. And like again, no man is an island. Nobody can do it by themselves.
Yeah.
We need to work together as
Exactly.
a team. And I think that's one of the toughest things here, though.
Yes.
That's
Easy
the
to
things
say.
that batters me. Yeah, that's
Easy
the-
to say.
Yeah. You know, you will see 2 Dutch guy come and they set up a company there. But why can't 2 of we just do it? We always feel that one make it more than me.
Exactly.
And
That was a competition.
Yeah. So we need to start trusting somewhere, business-wise, to move forward.
Yeah.
So we mentioned more people needed.
Yeah.
More businesses. When people come to the island, what we going to give them? What we going to cater to? Again, I mentioned Fort Orania
Yeah.
should be brought alive. But what else we have? We have all these forts all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, the cannon in the bush, they're so long. If the cliff if the cliff go away, they're gonna fall over, go in the sea. But
That's
these
true.
It's true,
are
it's
things.
serious.
Look, we have over where George has his farming,
Yeah.
pass over there.
Yeah.
You have a molen.
Yeah.
Fix the molen.
Yeah.
Have it. Souvenirs selling there, whatever.
Yeah.
Have the molen there. So the history of what it did. We have the factory. So it's there. Make a deal with the people,
Yeah.
and that you can set it up, invest in it,
Yeah.
and have a place. When you
Sure.
get tourists here, we're studying where you're gonna carry them. Oh, we can carry them the quill. But if they're 70 something, 80, they can't go on the quill. Or some will go.
Or raining. Or
That's true, yeah.
But you need to have
Exactly.
areas to take the people.
Yeah.
Most people don't know Statia has 2 volcanoes. You know that?
Yeah, that's
No,
what
I
that
don't
news
know.
to me.
Okay. So, Venus Bay with Berg here, from Quill to Little Mountain, all that area,
Yes.
that was the first volcano.
I didn't even know.
First volcano is down that side, past the terminal.
Now that you mentioned this.
Take a map of
I-
Statia, right?
Uh-huh.
Take a map of Statia, we zoom in. you will see the shape of a volcano that has eroded so much that you can see all the sides collapse.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you watch it, that's the first volcano. And that volcano only spat out ashes and rocks.
Yeah. I didn't even know that. That's
The
beautiful.
quill, that's the volcano that gave out lava.
Yeah.
And the lava run into the sea. That's going White Wall, even past Rusty, where that area go out. And in the water now, that's the dive sites what people go dive to.
Yeah.
Because the rock, lava, become hard rock,
Yeah.
and then you have all sort of stuff grow on it, marine life grow.
Okay.
We have your fish and so forth. So that is part of our history.
Yeah.
Diving is something you have for the people.
That's for sure.
One of the best diving, I will believe, I don't want to say in the world, but in these Caribbean areas, is Sabre and Statia.
Yeah.
Sabre is like going on forever, going down deep. And Statia, you have wreck diving, you got, name it, you got it.
Yeah.
Between these two islands. Bonaire has one the world famous dive where you can just drive to any dive shop, dive site, and just walk into the
Yeah,
water.
I see that a lot in Bonaire.
You know? So that they have overall.
Exactly.
But when you're talking about a nice vegetable garden, that's what we have here on the water. It's so beautiful, you know, it's diverse with a lot of different marine life.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I worked in it, so I know.
Yeah.
So I worked here first. Worked in the marine park. We went, helped Sir Martin put in moorings. I like, what is this?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Come on, go for Station was nice place.
Nice.
It's nicer than this.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's really nice that you pick up your own too.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we went to Sabre to assist because we work together. And this is what the islands now need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to work together. We are the best, right?
Yeah.
The best,
So-
best.
Yeah. But we need to also work together with Bonaire, you know, and they or we don't need to see ourselves as we different. Like it was in the Netherlands and Antilles, everybody, it was actually every man for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we were left, actually we left 50 years behind
Yeah.
because every island need specific things to develop. So now we playing catch up.
Yeah.
But they need to come and take care of that catch-up time because it needed
Yeah.
to move forward.
Yeah.
So again, I say we can have development in having new roads, infrastructure development, but we need development for the island.
Exactly.
So, look, we used to have long, nice beaches before,
I saw
Yeah, I got
pictures.
pictures of it.
right?
Yeah.
We don't have it no more.
No.
Not even close.
One of the reasons is the pier that we built stops the sand from, the pier that we had, the sand come around and fill the beach. Now we block it out. The sand is building up out
Further.
there.
Yeah.
And besides that, the sand don't come around from that side so much anymore. But we do get sand.
Yeah.
So how can we keep the sand?
I was going to ask you.
How can we keep the sand? There is a process. I went to Curacao.
Yeah.
Before I went to Holland, I went to a beach in Curacao, and you could hardly, how much say, it's like the beach almost up to the coastline, up to the wall, to the area. So you have a small area that can come in. And while working with Sinapa, we went on workshops. And I can't remember the name of the beach, but they started with Reef Ball Project. And when I look, I said, oh, it's not a beach, man.
Yeah.
Where the heck we get all that land? And what does the reef ball do? It breaks up the water. So the flow of the water. Now it looks like the water is on top, but
Yeah.
it's underneath. Huh?
Okay.
So the movement of the water is underneath.
Yeah.
It could look calm on top, but that water could pull you fast,
Exactly.
and then you can come back. So the sea brings in the water and bring the sand, and if the water is breaking up in a specific area, what happened then? It doesn't run too far.
Yeah.
Good. Easter time, we have sand coming.
Yeah.
But soon Easter done, the sand gone.
Exactly.
But suppose we can, Easter come, this time with a lot of sand, and we could keep it there. And the flow of the water isn't so heavy no more that it can take it away. When the sea comes this side, it takes the sand away. When it comes this side, it brings the North Sea, it brings sand. And that's where we get beaches.
Yeah.
But if you can stop that by making reef balls 5 feet big, and with holes inside, it can be areas where fish can hide
Still,
from
okay.
predators.
Yeah.
So what can we do? Hey, we need some more stuff for people when they come. So what we do? We create a snorkel park.
Yeah.
And in this snorkel park, we can at the same time have an educational program,
Beautiful.
grafting coral,
Exactly.
grafting coral inside, where we create a whole new ecosystem of marine life.
Yeah.
And we can do it right there. From the first dive shop up there, go down, past Golden Area,
Exactly.
on to the pier and continue.
Yeah.
We can make beaches.
Yeah.
We go on the old, we call it city wall.
Yeah.
That's, you hear, we always call that the city wall, but it's a coral wall. You can put your reef balls there in specific diameter, and you can make beaches.
Yeah.
That's what's needed.
You
Because
can
right
make
now
beaches.
it's
Very much
we don't
needed.
have any beaches right now.
Okay.
I guess it depends. Like we're what do you call that place next to the dive shop? I think is in front and back.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So from there, go right down, or below the wall that goes out, you can make beaches go straight down.
Yeah.
But again, it's teamwork.
Yeah.
We have an organization that is here to protect environment, but we need other organizations come together to prove with government
That it can happen.
and funds injection and to make beach, because we need beach.
Yep.
We don't have no beach.
No.
People will want to go to Zealandia, tempted to go to Zealandia and swim.
Because they have more sun.
They have more sand, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous.
Very.
You can make it different, but it is dangerous because of the undertow. The water comes in and draft around part of the island and comes back and go into the sea.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous part. So we need beaches.
Yeah.
This is one of the programs we need to do.
Exactly.
What need to be worked on? This program.
I like that you mentioned reef balls because I know when I hear a person say like you put big boulders out there, but then you also know, like you say, Sinapa also has their own regulation of protecting the islands and all of
Look.
that. So
When we started with Sinapa to set up the marine park, we first went to Bonaire and see what they have.
Yeah.
Bonaire has these big concrete slabs thrown down in the ocean
yes.
and then have a mooring to it. We said, no, we don't want that. We want something neat and nice.
Yeah.
So we will put a sand anchor, or we'll drill into a coral that we know is not going to get damaged and rope is not going to damage. Drill into a coral, part of the lab, drill into it and put a pin there and put a mooring. And these are the things we did.
Yeah.
So you don't find, where you'll find a dolo or two on a big area where a big ship can go
Yeah.
with a lot of divers,
Yeah.
not the regular ones that we have there. Boats that come here for diving can hook up,
Yeah.
and go to these areas. But we wanted neat. And so the same way, you can go and throw all sort of stuff outside there. You can go and take old boats and put them closer in and block off the area. But it wouldn't look nice.
Yeah.
But you can make reef balls. You're talking about beach. Don't change the waterway. You want to have beach, then make beach.
Exactly.
And while making beach, you can, at the same time, make a snorkel area, an area nice that our youngsters could learn more about the fish stock, the marine life, know about it, take a dive course, snorkel, and be part of whatever you have here to give to the people that come in.
So you share a lot of knowledge on land and also sea.
Well, I learned a lot working with that 10 years for Sinapa also, because I gave junior ranger, we started junior ranger club and a snorkel club. Like I said, we went to Bonaire and they're doing those things, so we just bring it back and start it here.
Exactly.
And it's something good. Our youngsters need to know a lot about our island.
Yeah. I think that's
We
missing.
don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about our island. We don't know nothing about the people that did something for the island.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Yeah.
All like this month they say it's what they call it?
Black History Month.
Black History Month. We should be talking about the people that did something to push Statia, for Statia to be in the light.
Well, thanks to you. You introduced us that we had a second volcano.
You see? And there's much more things that we don't know about this beautiful island. But again, we talk about those things another time, you know?
I have a question. It's actually based off the paper you brought into us. Who is your biggest inspiration here growing up on island? And why?
My father. Why I say that? Because my father was a politician and he got more votes than everybody on the party plus the other party. He himself. So I said he had to have either good talks or good connections to the people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I see in their reign here in Mr. Woodley, Austin Woodley, they build roads to Whitewall.
Yeah.
They build roads behind the mountain.
Yeah.
They build roads to the bay and to Zealandia.
Yeah.
Okay, they're all in one direction, but it was done 50 years ago. You understand?
Yeah.
If I could have talked to him and asked him, what was the plan? What was the plan?
Yeah.
Because look at this now. There's a hotel over there,
Yeah.
and the botanical garden is further.
Yeah.
Yes.
So probably was opening the island for business.
Exactly.
But yeah, it didn't happen then. But it's going to happen now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we got to tell ourselves it's going to happen because it's going to happen. And it's going to
For
happen faster than we think.
Yeah.
By the time we catch ourselves, we did, oh boy.
That's the way to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. You understand? And that's how it's
Exactly.
going to happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Positive.
Yes. So he inspired me all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just sit and think. And in those days, the two commissioners had more power than it's lieutenant governor. It's governor now,
Yeah.
but it was administrator then. They did the bookkeeping, administration. They worked together as a team, but
Yeah.
they were the ones that had the power.
Yeah.
And they say, you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
If they tell the doctor, you come into this patient now, you're coming to check the patient now.
Yeah.
Don't tell him take a tablet and come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's how it was in those days. And I always look up to him
Yeah.
for what he did and what the politicians did in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, if those politicians were here now, we'd have been a different island. But yeah, that's how it's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Learn from that.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
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 Thank you for sharing that. I just have one more question. If there was something that you say is needed in the community and can change, what would that be?
We need so many things.
One thing. that you say.
One thing,
Yeah.
I would say, as an island of Statia, this is my opinion, an island of Statia that did so much for the world, recognized the United States of America. Our people of Statia, living on Statia, shouldn't be paying any tax at all. It's, for us, living here should be tax-free. If that was me, if I had the power to do that, I would do that.
Yeah.
Earlier I mentioned about the pensioners, but we should be tax-free.
Yeah.
At this moment, we should be tax-free. And I personally find me, my children, grandchildren, all of them should be living tax-free
Tax-free.
on this little island.
Yeah.
Because Statia was like this.
Exactly.
You could get everything, legal or illegal,
Yeah.
on Statia, and that's what made Statia what it was 250 years ago.
Yeah.
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 You understand? So that's the one thing I will change.
Yeah.
Let's see how that one, if that dream will come true.
Yes.
You never know.
Well, Mr. Gershon Lopes, we want to thank you very much for taking your time out to come and speak to us. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy the conversation.
Definitely.
It's something that we talked about when we first started. We actually first started in 2023, but we just started back.
With this
And-
program?
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
we
he actually
stopped.
started.
We
Okay.
stopped for a while, then we start back again. But the intention with this is to speak with different persons, whether it's mental health, whether it's business, but especially talking to the older folks and hearing how things was back then
Yes.
and how what we need to adjust, what we need to do in order to move forward, and what we need in order for unity to actually happen back on the island again. So I want to thank you a lot for coming in. You really touched on the unity and working together. And
It was
like you
my
said,
pleasure.
we're probably going to have a part two sometime.
A
in
part
the
3,
future.
part 4, you never know.
Yes.
Thanks again. And like I say here on the talk, on Jacquil Imagery, capture the moment, watch it forever.
Bless.
See you guys in the next episode.
Blessings.
Yeah.